Welcome back to Maggie and Perloff. We are so pleased now to welcome in the three-time All-Pro, the five-time Pro Bowler. Of course, he's here with us on behalf of Invisalign, which we'll get to in just a moment. I wore Invisalign for a long time. TJ Watt is good enough to join the show. TJ, thanks so much for the time today.
Thank you guys for having me on. Happy to
Man,
be here.
appreciate it. So, okay, first about your brother, because that video that you and a bunch of other players and coaches in the NFL recorded for him upon his retirement moved him to tears. TJ, did you know that video was going to make him cry when he saw it?
I don't know. I know that he's a softie at heart, but obviously it's tough to know how his reaction is going to be the day before a game, just because you have so much energy built up leading to the game tomorrow. So it was a special moment. Definitely brought a tear to my eye to see him moved the way that he was, but he deserves it all.
TJ, is he going to be restless in retirement? He seems like a guy who's got to be busy all the time.
I don't know. We're gonna have to see. I don't. It's been so fresh that I don't even know if he knows what he's gonna do. So I think we're all just kind of have to stick around and stay tuned.
Okay, so JJ is a big softie on the inside. You said that you shed a tear just watching him watch the video. Are you Watts like all really just softies, yet you're so ferocious on the field?
I think that, I mean, my dad always told us you have to have an on and off switch to be an excellent football player, just so that you can be a good person, as well as in the community and just a person in general. But I mean, I love my brothers. I love my family. So whenever you talk about them, it's definitely a soft spot in my heart.
So when all the Watts get together, is there sort of like, what role does everybody play? Is there a guy who's sort of the softest amongst you who gets the most emotional? Is there a funny person?
It's got to be an
I,
instigator. There's
Yeah.
always an
definitely,
instigator.
it's definitely not a sit around cry fest. I think it's just for big. My brother put so much into his career. I think he said it was like 20 some years of playing football. It's a huge part of it. And when you replay back, just all the little intricacies of his career, the ups, the downs, the conversations, the motivational talks, it's just so much that goes into it, that when it's all said and done and you're not going to play anymore, it's a sad feeling, but it's also just a sense of pride about all the impressive career that he's strung together.
TJ Watt is our guest, of course. Pittsburgh Steelers, do everything, three-time All-Pro, five-time Pro Bowler. We want to get to your season because despite the fact that you missed several games, it was a remarkable year for you. But one other thing, TJ, I was looking on your Instagram recently, and you have this great video from your wedding from last summer. And it's a really quick flash, but there's somebody who looks like a professional football player doing the worm on the dance floor at your wedding. Who is this person?
That's my buddy Chikwe. I have so many good friends, college teammates, high school teammates, obviously NFL teammates as well, that we just wanted to have a good time. And I'm glad that I was able to have a couple of them out at my wedding. And I'm glad Chikwe made the video.
That dude was moving across the floor. It was pretty impressive. We're told all the time that football is never about just one guy, but it's really, staggering to see what the Steelers were able to do once you came back from the torn pec. They were 1-6 when you were out injured, 8-2 after your injury. I mean, how do you explain that?
I don't know. I don't have to explain it either. I don't. That's just one of those things that I just go to work and try to do the best that I can to be the best player I can be and teammate. And it's not always what you can do on the field. It's about how you can try to get men to rally around you and try to spark as much as we possibly can for the defense. And hopefully that gets contagious throughout the team. And if you're not always playing the best that you want to, which was the case for me this season, it was all about bringing energy and trying to bring as much juice and spark to the team as possible.
TJ, you guys came on so strong at the end of the season. I felt if there was 2 or 3 more games in the season, then this Steelers team really would have made some noise. Was it frustrating? Do you feel like you guys really kind of figured out the end and maybe it was a little too late?
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt too. It was too little too late, but we were continuing to get better. Each and every week we were starting to play complementary football with offense, defense, special teams, and we were starting to get our stride. But if anything, that shows us that it's possible that we can continue to stay on the rise, as Coach Tomlin always says. And it's encouraging for this next season.
And what did you see as far as rookie quarterback Kenny Pickett's progression as he came on at the end of the season?
Yeah, I mean, Kenny, we knew as soon as he stepped in the building, he was going to be a good component for us, a good leader. And like I said before, it's just about getting better each and every week. I mean, he put together some awesome drives towards the end of games there, especially down the stretch. And I think he's only going to get better as he gets older.
We're talking to TJ Watt. He's the 5-time Pro Bowler, outside linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's joining us on behalf of Invisalign, which is the presenting sponsor for the NFL honors this year, which is pretty cool. Is there a point though, TJ, when you start to trust a rookie quarterback? Like, and what is that? When is that? When you trust that he's going to be able to lead those game-winning drives?
Yeah, I don't know if the moment I can really pick out is when we were in Baltimore and they were driving and we were probably not even at half field yet. And Kenny was taking the offense down the field and we already grabbed our helmets as defense and we were talking about what plays we are going to run, how we are going to brush the passer. And we hadn't even crossed the 50-yard line yet. We just knew that he was going to drive them down and score a touchdown. So I think that's kind of one of the moments that I look back on and say, Kenny is the guy. And I look forward to playing with him for many years.
All right. So how about on the defensive side of the ball? When you're on the field, I mean, it's a completely, as we said, a different team. Next year, I think there's going to be a real opportunity to improve. What can you guys do better and more consistently next season?
I mean, we always talk about stopping the run. We want to get back to just being a top 5 defense in general in every category. And it's all about creating those splash plays, as we call them in the building, which are just turnover type plays, whether it's tip balls, overthrows, interceptions, forced fumbles, sacks, all that stuff. We just want to continue to grow and stuff like that. I mean, we have the nucleus of this defense sticking together. So hopefully that improvement comes.
TJ, we'll ask you about Invisalign, as I said, in just one moment. But of course, Taylor Lewan right now, man, he just cannot stop talking about you. He's a free agent this year. He says he wants to play for the Steelers, but he admitted that you guys have bad blood because he claims he spit on you in a game. I mean, completely crossing the line. Could you ever play with somebody who you have that kind of beef with? Like, could you just all of a sudden now become teammates with somebody that you have a history with like that?
I don't know. I mean, all those front office decisions aren't mine, so that makes it easy for me.
Yeah. But I imagine, are you watching this a little bit more closely or not really?
No, I kind of mind my own business this time of year.
TJ, we know that Invisalign, the presenting sponsor for the NFL honors. So do you get a role in the NFL honors or something like that?
No, but I'll be out there. I'll be on Radio Row. I have my partnership with Invisalign. I'm an Invisalign aligner user myself. I've been using them since this past March, and it's one of those things that a lot of guys in the locker room actually use them. And the biggest thing for me was that you don't have those emergency appointments unnecessarily as that come with braces, and it's just so easy with my lifestyle. I can pop them out, have a meal, toss them back in, and my teeth are getting straightened. And I can actually practice with them in as well. So it's kind of a win-win situation for me and a no-brainer to work with Invisalign because I'm so happy with the product.
I can tell you they work because I used them too.
Yeah. TJ, my dentist just said to me 2 weeks ago, you need to get Invisalign. And I said to him, I'm on the radio. Will it get in the way? And he promised me he wouldn't. Can you confirm what Dr. Yao said?
Yeah, yes.
Firm. I mean, I never had any problem talking and never had any problem. I mean, it's awesome because if you want to have a snack, you just take them out, have a quick snack on the side. You can hit your mute button there and you can have a snack and toss them right back.
He's never allowed to take breaks, Perloff. TJ, we don't allow him to take breaks. Last one for me is, were you looking at the Lamar Jackson contract situation with Baltimore and thinking, you know what, maybe it wouldn't be so bad if this guy left the division?
Yeah, that's one of those things. You just play whoever's scheduled, and he's a great competitor, and I'm sure he'll get paid in one way or the other.
All right, last one for me. I'm an Eagles fan, TJ. I just saw Lane Johnson kind of shut down Nick Bosa to some extent. I know you played the Eagles once. I don't know if you played Lane Johnson, but can you tell me? I'm confident that the Eagles O-line really looks like they're ready to go. I don't know how much you've watched these teams, but if you could stop Nick Bosa, you could stop anyone, in my opinion. Do you agree?
I mean, they've had a great season, and I mean that whole line has been together for quite some time. And when your quarterback's playing at the elite level that he is, I think it just makes everyone's job around him a little bit easier. And it's a tough task, but Kansas City has a lot of great weapons as well, so it'll be a good game.
TJ Watt, of course, he's the 3-time All-Pro, the 5-time Pro Bowler, outside linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. On behalf of Invisalign, TJ, thanks so much for doing this. Hope to talk to you soon.
Thank you for having me on, guys. Have a good rest of your day.
Okay,
Thank you,
too.
TJ.